Good evening, Richmond. I'm Mayor Levar Stoney. Sorry to impose on you on this Friday evening, but I wanted to give you some updates and answer some quick questions about the city's response to COVID-19, the novel coronavirus. First, I want to begin by saying how proud I am of all the Richmonders out there who have been abiding and obeying some of the protocols that have been provided to us by the Center for Disease Control and also by the Commonwealth of Virginia and also your city. We can and we will get through this together. And I really appreciate and am grateful for every one of our residents who are having a tough time staying indoors, but are doing it because they know that this will reduce the amount of time that we are in this temporary new normal. And so I want to thank all the residents out there who continue to believe in this great city, and I guarantee you, we will get through this together. I also want to take a moment to just talk a little bit about some of the updates we're providing to the city over the last week, some of the things that we've been doing. Although City Hall is closed, the operation of city government continues. Essential employees have been reporting over the last week. The city of Richmond is closed through the end of the month, but there should be some news about how we operate moving forward in the coming week. So first, if you need any updates on the city of Richmond and COVID-19, we ask that you continue to go to the website that we update on a daily basis, and that is richmondgov.com/COVID-19. You go there, you will see a full list of city services and also updates in nearly real time about what's going on in the city and the region about pertaining to COVID-19. I will also say, as of today, we have had 21 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the city of Richmond. That's 21 residents here in the city who have been impacted and infected with the COVID-19, the coronavirus. We can all know this. We've seen it on the news everywhere that testing has lagged behind in places all across this country. We have roughly 250 to 300 test kits available here in the Richmond region, a region of 1.3 million people. And so with that lack of testing, we don't know where the virus may be. We don't have an accurate picture of where the virus may be. But we have to assume that each and every one of us could potentially have this coronavirus. And so we have to act that way and be even more vigilant when we're interacting with people or even outdoors, which you should not be outdoors. So let's talk a little bit about what the city's doing as of this week. First, let's talk about parking enforcement. You all know earlier this week, I came out and said that we will be enforcing parking, limited illegal parking in this coming week. We will only enforce those or people who are parking in by fire hydrants, folks who are blocking crosswalks, folks who are blocking handicap accessibility entries on curbs. Those are the only things we really will be enforcing. So we are going to be very, very lax on how we enforce parking throughout the city. But those major ones right there, folks who are blocking bike lanes, ignoring utility work, and other parking restrictions, we will be enforcing. So that is an update on parking. Also, as you all know, that RPS has been really diligent in food delivery to our neighborhoods. As we all know that many of our children receive their only meals through RPS in Richmond Public Schools. And I want to take my hat off to Superintendent Cameron and his team for being devoted to ensuring that each and every child in the city of Richmond gets a nutritious meal each and every day. And there's a number of volunteers and employees of Richmond Public Schools who have waking up every morning and going out there and delivering meals to our students. There are right now 34 grab-and-go sites around the city. And so there's always a site near your neighborhood, and please utilize this fantastic service that Richmond Public Schools is delivering. Also, if you do not know where these sites are, please text FOOD, F-O-O-D, or COMIDA, C-O-M-I-D-A, to 877-877 if you do not know where the nearest food grab-and-go sites are around the city. Also, you also have heard that we will be introducing a penalties and interest amnesty program to our local small businesses. If you're a local small business in town, you've been impacted by the closures of many of your businesses because of the coronavirus, we will be offering amnesty for most local taxes and also interest and penalties for the lack of taxes. And so that paper will be coming before the Richmond City Council in the coming week. Please keep your eye out on that. That will certainly be in the news. We have a responsibility in times like this to show the best versions of ourselves. And I am very, very lucky that we have a number of organizations, nonprofit, philanthropic organizations in our city who've stepped up to the plate to ensure that each and every person facing the hardship of coronavirus is going to be served no matter whether our city is fully open or not. So first, I want to thank the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care, who helped nearly 100 individuals move out an encampment, a homeless encampment off of Oliver Hill Way. I want to thank you for ensuring that they now have indoor facilities, a place to sleep at night that's not outdoors, and also a place to take a shower, to sanitize themselves, and also wash their hands as well, particularly through the coronavirus pandemic that is impacting the entire world. So I'm going to thank the Greater Richmond Continuum of Care for stepping up. Also, I want to thank the YMCA. The YMCA stepped up late last week, and said that they would provide child care for a number of healthcare workers who are going to work each and every day, who are answering the call to ensure that they get the quality health care they need to those who might be impacted by the coronavirus. And so I want to thank the Y. We'll be assessing child care needs for essential employees here in the city of Richmond, and you can expect 5 total sites that will open up next week. We had a site that opened up at the downtown Y this past Monday, and slowly but surely, more and more kids were showing up at the site. They will practice the same protocols that we're expecting everyone to practice, and that is not more than 10 people per room, and also ensuring that they also wash their hands on a regular basis as well, and practice all the sanitation rules that we're expecting from our businesses that are currently open by order of the governor. Also, I want to thank my partners with the Sheriff's Office, particularly Sheriff Antoinette Irving, and also a number of the partners, community partners, and those who have advocated for tenants in the city of Richmond, Central Virginia Legal Aid Society, and other tenant rights organizations. By working together with them and working with the courts as well, we were able to ensure there will be no convictions executed during this state of emergency. It's now more critical now more than ever that people have a place to live during this health crisis. And I think no one should lose their home because of a lack of payment, because their inability to access their jobs and bring the dollars home in a paycheck in the coming months. And so I want to thank the courts for stepping up, and I want to thank Sheriff Antoinette Irving for stepping up as well. Each and every person has a right to a home through this crisis, and working together will ensure that people have that. We have to understand that we are each other's brothers keepers and our sister keepers as well during this crisis as well. And I want to say that we are stronger and safer when we're at home. And so for the coming weekend of beautiful weather, it's already feeling beautiful outside already. I think we have to also understand that while we want to go outside and enjoy this beautiful weather, we have to do it still in a safe manner that keeps not only you safe, but the people around you safe as well. As I stated earlier, we have to act as if each and every one of us has the coronavirus. And that means when you're outdoors, enjoying our parks, because I understand that people have to get outdoors for that mental relief of being indoors all the time. If you're outdoors enjoying our parks, we ask that you abide by the protocols of keeping 6 feet of distance from people that you may not even know, or people you don't even live with. And so please do that responsibly this weekend. Last weekend, we had a number of complaints and phone calls into our office and also on social media of people gathering in mass groups, more than 10 people along Texas Beach and the Pony Pasture and along the river on Belle Isle as well. And we heard of people playing basketball during this time. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very clear. This is not the moment to be out there acting as if it's spring break 2017. This is not the moment to be going out to our basketball courts and then we're going to relive our AAU dreams. Let's save that for the normal life that we're going to get through after this unfortunate new state of normalcy here in the city of Richmond. There'll be a time and a place for that. For right now, to reduce the amount of time that we have to stay indoors, I'm asking you, I'm begging you to please abide by these protocols and these guidelines to keep each Richmonder safe. And while you're out there, if you see individuals out there who are not listening to the protocols that the state and the CDC have provided us, I ask that you give our non-emergency number a call to the Richmond Police Department. Dial 804-646-5100 if you see these sort of mass gatherings going on. This allows for us to give a location for the police department to show up and ask you to kindly disperse of the crowd. We're not trying to be punitive about this. We're not trying to lock anybody up. We're just trying to keep people safe, keeping people's lives safe during this public health crisis. So I'm asking and begging everyone to obey and abide by those laws. Now, to answer some questions real quick before I let you all go for the evening, we got some top questions that came in through phone calls, through some of our departments, and also over social media as well. One of the questions asked, why haven't I called for a moratorium on rent and mortgages in the city of Richmond? First, the city of Richmond, the mayor of the city of Richmond does not have the authority to suspend the payment of rent or mortgages in the city of Richmond. This is a power of the governor, though. So in the coming weeks, in the coming week, you'll see a letter from me to the governor asking for that power to be executed upon. In addition to that, though, as I stated earlier, thankful to the work of Sheriff Antoinette Irving and those who are tenant right organizations. Evictions have been halted through this process, through the state of emergency of the time period. And so that means, I'm not telling you not to pay your rent. We want everybody to pay their rent. However, you will not be evicted because of non-payment. I want you to remember that. We're not telling anyone not to pay their rent. Everybody should pay their rent. I'm going to pay mine. I want everybody to pay theirs, their rents and their mortgages. But if you cannot, remember that evictions will be halted during the state of an emergency. Another question we got was, I have heard that additional benefits will become available to current SNAP recipients. When can I access those? Now, as a result of the Families First Coronavirus Response Act that was passed by the Congress today, DSS will begin issuing emergency benefits to most households who have not reached the max on their SNAP benefits. For all those households who have not reached the max on their SNAP benefits. So if you haven't reached the max, you will likely receive some emergency benefits. If you have already reached that max, you will not receive those emergency SNAP benefits. Emergency benefits will be provided for March and April 2020 and will increase the household's current monthly allotment to the maximum monthly allotment for a household of that size. Citizens can submit to DSS inquiries and requests regarding services through RVA 311. So you can call RVA 311, or you can go RVA311.com, or you can call 646-7000 as well. Another question we received: why haven't I shut down all the parks? And I think you heard me talk recently about this, and that is I do believe that after being in your homes for so long, many of you all are out there abiding by the guidelines and the protocols of the CDC, that I do believe that we have to find that balance between addressing Richmonders' physical and mental health. And that means getting out there and enjoying our parks, but doing it in a responsible way. And I think we can do that. We can balance our mental and physical health and also practice the protocols, the social distancing that has been laid out by the CDC, and also ensuring that there are no gatherings of more than 10 people. As I stated earlier, if we cannot obey these sort of guidelines, I will obviously reconsider my decision of closing parks in the city. I don't want to have to get to that point. I believe in Richmonders. I believe Richmonders will listen when it comes to this social distancing work, but I never want to have to get to the point where we have to close down parks. But if we patrol this weekend, we scope out some spots this weekend, and those guidelines aren't being followed, I will be left with no other choice only to close those parks. Like I said earlier, we do not want to be punitive in this process. We want to make sure that folks can actually get their physical and mental health workouts by walking through our parks, but we also want to make sure we stay healthy and safe during this process. I want to wrap this evening up with letting all Richmonders know that this has been I know there are some folks out there who are anxious, who are fearful about what the next weeks may bring, but I want you to know that we can and we will get through this process. Yes, the days may seem dark right now because we don't get to do what is convenient to us, and it's go out there, interact with our friends and our families. But I know that we can still display the best version of ourselves during this difficult time. And that means helping each other out. One thing I love about Richmond is its generosity. It's love for one another. And we might be a southern city with southern charm, but it goes a lot deeper than that. Richmonders love Richmond, and we love each other. And this is no time better than ever to display that love all across our neighborhoods and our communities. If you know an elderly senior in your neighborhood, reach out to them, check in on them. Check in on your family right now as well. They may be living here, they may be living somewhere else, but jump on your phones, your smartphones, and do some FaceTiming. This is the perfect time to do that. And also an opportunity for self-reflection as well. I truly believe that Richmond is safer and stronger together, and I have no doubt in my mind that we will get through this and will be a stronger, more resilient city because of you, because of Richmonders out there who've stepped up to the plate to ensure that this will happen. So I want to say thank you, and I applaud the work you've been doing over the course of the last couple of weeks. It's been hard, it's been difficult, but you've also stepped up to the plate and you've been selfless in this process. I want to say thank you, and also God bless and have a good evening.